See if anyone's joining. No one just yet.
I can leave that. Hold on.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, why don't we go through our normal introductions anyway? Welcome. This is the trouble with the internet, September 2025 meeting of the City of Somerville Interim Climate Action Commission. We will start with some introductions, briefly go around the room, I think just with commissioners first and then staff members. My name is Larry Yu. I live in Ward 6. I am the chair of the commission. Yeah, that's probably plenty. Courtney?
Courtney Coslow, Commissioner, Ward 5, Lagoon Square.
Ramon?
Ramon Bueno, I'm the commissioner in Ward 2, Brick Bottom District, and that's it for now.
I am Alexis Washburn. I live in Teal Square and also a commissioner. I'm the clerk.
I'm Christine Glaze, Director of Mayor's Office of Sustainability and Environment and ex officio to the commission.
Hi everyone, I'm Naomi Gross. I'm the Community Engagement Specialist with the Sustainability and Environment Office.
We'll wait just 1 minute.
We got like drive around in circles.
Hello, how are you?
I'm just saying, I always bike here and I drove today and I was like, oh, they're only one-way streets. So I'm getting like circling around.
Awesome. Well, you're just in time. We're just doing introductions.
Great.
Do you want to go and then?
Oh, sure. I'm Kate Crowley, Environmental Policy Manager with Office of Sustainability and Environment.
Eliza Johnston, Commissioner, Davis Square.
Is there anyone on the line? Okay.
No, not at this time.
Okay, I have an agenda in front of me, so I mean, we're free to leave it up there, of course.
Oh, great. Okay. Then I can do maybe something like
Yeah,
this.
there you
Okay.
go. Approval of the meeting minutes from last, you're good, you don't need passwords or anything like that. Approval of the minutes, which were distributed or accessible on the website. Does anyone need a minute to review them first? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes as posted.
The only thing, I had read it and I forget if I found a typo or a little minor thing, but I can't find it right now. I should have written it down. It's inconsequential really in the big picture. You can always do a
Thank you.
edit
For the input.
spelling check, whatever, but I'm fine.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Motion from Courtney, you have a second?
Second.
From Alexis, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's so hard to participate when you also take minutes.
Sorry. Motion passes. Unanimously. Staff updates, so just a couple of updates here. So, first on network geothermal and on curbside food waste. Both are in the news these days.
Yeah. I don't know. Do we want to start with curbside?
Sure, I can do curbside food waste
Yeah.
collection pilot program. So I'm the program manager for the curbside food waste collection pilot program. So if you have any questions, I'm the person to come to. But last week, the city officially announced, although it's kind of been in the news because the contract is, something you could access, but we put out a press release that announced that we're starting the pilot program in the next few weeks, and that the pilot neighborhood is going to be East Somerville. So we're aiming to have 1,200 households that meet various eligibility criteria. They have to sign up. It's not just auto enroll. People have to reach out and be interested in the program. And we'll provide curbside food waste collection for about 2 years through mid 2027 to all households who enroll. So the sooner you enroll, the longer you can participate in the program because it'll be rolling as the program continues. So currently with the press release that went out, we have a web page that's live on the City of Somerville website, so people can sign up to be notified when enrollment opens. So this is kind of a soft launch, and then we will have all of the kind of informational outreach materials on the website that'll be built out, and then people will actually sign up directly through Garbage to Garden, who's our contractor, their website. So yeah, the program is getting started. Right now, we're focused in the next few weeks on like targeted outreach to East Somerville, so we have like. Naomi's gonna talk about this a little bit more, but we have some like outreach opportunities that you all are welcome to come to, and we're specifically, there's like a Ward 1. Fall community meeting where we'll definitely be touting the curbside composting program and getting people signed up to be notified. When enrollment is open. Yeah, so I think that's kind of where we are now. Any questions on that? That's good.
So I saw a notice about also because we are a customer of garbage, so they sent out a little like, oh, this is so exciting. I'm wondering like, are there explicit goals around like how much waste, tonnage wise we're diverting or anything like that, where we could have like a, tick mark showing our progress or something about like, 15 tons diverted or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think we don't have like a tonnage goal, I think partially because like enrollment is rolling and like we'll see like, how many people we sign up each quarter, but we are getting monthly reports from Garbage to Garden where they're going to be reporting the tonnage of waste that they're collecting. And then we also have from DPW, they have like their waste tonnage that they use, and that's like a little bit, not as like specifically aligned to the pilot neighborhood, but I think between those two data points, we'll be able to like say something about organic waste reduction.
And then my other question was just about climate ambassadors, like, would it make sense? I mean, maybe you're already doing this, but just in terms of the outreach, I feel like your neighbors are doing it, I'm from this neighborhood, I'm a climate ambassador, maybe a note from them or like, and or a ward council member, like a lot of the ward council people put out newsletters that are very well respected and loved by their constituents. And so in addition to the outreach that you're doing, maybe they're not on our mailing list already, but they probably are on their council person. So just those would be some ideas.
Yeah, that's great.
Alexis?
I had a question about, my question on too. My question was, so I know that the pilot is starting in East Somerville and there's going to be a webpage with more information. Is there an opportunity to track interest from other neighborhoods and wards who might be interested when the pilot is able to expand?
Yeah, I think we're working on kind of how to do that right now. Like the form that we have on the website is like to sign up to be notified when enrollment opens. So I think it's primarily for people who are like think they will be eligible for the pilot program. I do think we've talked about like maybe adding a form once enrollment's open. That's like, if you don't live in a pilot neighborhood, sign up here to find out more.
Yeah, I think, so I think a couple of pieces here, just to circle back with what Eliza was saying too. We have notified the counselors about the press release standard protocol, so hopefully, it shows up in their newsletter, so that would be great. I know that it's something that the community, counselors and mayors, staff have been wanting for a really long time. And I think, it's really exciting to bring something to the city that people really want. And, it's been really great, interest so far. I mean, in the first like 3 days, we had 120 signups. So if all of those convert to, people that are eligible and do wind up signing up for the program when the form opens up, that's like 10% in the first 3 days, already taken, which is great. So, and the reason for the tonnage goal piece is because this, and not having a tonnage goal for this is because it is technically a pilot program, and what we're interested in part is sort of seeing, does all the interest translate into signups, and what sort of complications do we run into along the way? Primarily, we do not want to exacerbate the rodent problem. So we want to start small scale with 1,200 homes before we do 32,000. And make sure that we're doing this in the best way that works for Somerville. And in terms of interest, we have already gotten, a lot of folks that aren't in the pilot area or are already receiving compost that are interested in joining, a city program, or have flagged, hey, I think a city sponsored program would be great for this reason or something like that. And for anybody that's interested, but knows they don't qualify, I would still recommend that they sign up, because we are tracking that, and we can note whether they email us, and we will note whether they email us, whether they call us, whether they sign up on a form, whether you know, they sign up through, the city's, kind of general, you know, kind of reach out to a department online form that they have. It will get back to us and we will note it, and then it will be part of the report out for the program, and we can say like, you know, we had this number of people contact us, X percentage weren't in the pilot area and still want this, and that can help us demonstrate interest in the program and help us as a department prioritize what things we should be working on. Because I think we see the value in composting beyond like the 3% of our total scope 1 and scope 2 emissions, right? Like it goes much more beyond that as like a health benefits and you know, kind of building that climate culture, that culture of sustainability. So, you know, and it speaks to our consumption-based emissions inventory too. So lots of reasons to do it, you know.
Ramona, do you have a question?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's
Say some.
comments, more than
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
One is that, I think being something new like this, that, having repeated outreach and repeated dissemination,
Mhm.
because a lot of people don't get it on the first month or two, is important. But I know from my experience in our building, which is, you know, there are about 120 some units that have people living in there. When composting was introduced, and it built up, trash, the non-recyclable trash started going down. It varies by family, you know, some people don't cook that much and all that. But I know that in my family's case, you know, the non-recyclable trash went down like at least in half.
Amazing.
So it'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
but I think what you were saying, using ambassadors and, I don't know, high school students, or just getting the word out in many angles.
Sure.
Will you be tracking the trash reduction
Well, we do have reporting on both of those, so we can see, I mean.
and
I-
the calls for rats and the trash?
Yeah, we have,
With
yeah, we have all of that stuff tracked, so we will see if there's any impact or if there's no impact,
Yeah.
which, you know, we'll see what
It may
happens.
take a while to.
Yeah, right, especially because it is, you know, it's like 1/30th of all the houses in Somerville too, would be like the maximum that we'd be able to serve in the 18-month period, so I'm not sure how realistic, but we'll see a dip, but if we do, we will have the data, so.
The other thing that, in the experience in my small community, over time, making it, clear what counts, you know, what can you put in and not, makes a big difference, cause in some places, composting is very limited, you know, you can't put a lot of things in it.
Yeah.
But if the composting operation is big enough, you can put in all kinds of things, like
Right.
leftover
Mhm.
beef and fat and, you know, all kinds of things. So it makes a difference if people know like, oh, I can only do this, or the scope.
Yeah.
Eliza,
Yeah.
did you have something else?
Oh, yeah, I just had two things and the vendor might already be doing this because they're pretty savvy. They send out a newsletter every month and it has some good data. But the other two things that we should just make sure that they take note of is one, the seasonality of it. I think there's some people who like only compost in the summer when they can put their bucket outside and they have to like pull it in or it freezes, they're like not interested anymore. So I'd be interested like how many of the community members that get the bin fill it up on a weekly basis, like is it being used or are they just having it and is there seasonality to it? And the second piece is when we first joined Garbage to Garden, they gave us a little like pamphlet about like put something on your kitchen, you know, this is the thing for your kitchen, and then you can and it was basically like very pictorially focused on like, you know, you have something on your counter and then you dump it in the bin once a week or something like that. And I think, you know, particularly for houses that maybe are new to composting, that type of education could probably, because it is a pretty big, ugly bucket, and I'm not sure people are gonna be like, this feels safe to keep in my house.
Yeah, so we've been working with Garbage to Garden on outreach materials, and so we have a how-to guide that will accompany, it's called like a starter kit, so you get your curbside bin, you get your countertop container, you get a how-to guide, you get a little.
Oh, you will be giving people the countertop one?
Yeah,
So it'll be a whole setup.
Courtney?
it's great.
I had two questions. The pilot through 2027, does that mean Ward 1 will be the only
Yeah.
group until, I mean,
Question.
ward until then? Or is it possible if it goes well, it will be expanded to other wards in that time?
Yeah, I think our intention is to focus on Ward 1. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we sort of wanna see, in terms of what you mentioned about the seasonality piece, I think we wanna see what happens over the course of a year.
Is it
Within
a
the
year or
budget,
2 years?
it's a year and a half, that they'll receive the service for free, and then we have, a couple months in the beginning for startup to create the guide and everything, which like, everything looks awesome, I can't wait for you guys.
Yeah,
to see it.
their branding and marketing is great.
Yeah, yeah. Ours is pretty good too.
And so you guys, I'm sure you have something to work with, like they're great, they're a good
I know.
organization.
I know, I can't wait, it's really, really good, and then, the other thing is, we have a month or two at the end of it, so that they can do kind of like a final report out, and we can kind of do an assessment and an evaluation. During that time though, participatory budgeting this year did approve over $100,000 for a, pilot, composting drop-off program,
Oh,
so
right.
we are developing that too.
So that
That'd
can,
be
That would be
can happen in
citywide.
parallel.
That would be citywide, yeah.
Could that be bins throughout the city?
Yeah.
Like in Europe, you could, or Mexico,
Yeah.
they're just like.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
Cambridge during the pandemic, they had drop-offs.
yeah.
But I'm thinking like next to the recycling.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm even
Latin
thinking,
America.
I'm even thinking
during the pandemic.
like a bin next to the recycling and the trash in Davis Square.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're, that's what we're
Versus
going.
like bring all of your, like, just like I'm walking by and I have an apple versus like I'm bringing my
Oh, I
household.
see, I see.
But with both of which are good.
We're evaluating, but yes,
Okay.
it will be one of those.
So I just wanted to, sorry,
Oh,
Yeah,
I had one
go
more
finish that.
question on this, which was the decision to have people who are paying not be eligible. I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it feels like you're penalizing people who've been doing a good thing
Yeah,
for a while.
I think we talked about that quite a bit, and I think the intention of it, I think especially like thinking about it, like it's a pilot program. And so like the idea is like looking at like the feasibility or like challenges that might come with citywide composting, so we really need to like hit households that like aren't composting or haven't done that before to like see like what the uptake is like, what are the challenges they're having. And if we're just rolling over customers that are already composting, then we worried that like.
I argue differently. If there are all these people that know how to do it, it will show that it's actually like the denominator is a bigger number of good people. Like those people exist. So it's not as if you're gonna roll it out and no one has ever done it before.
Yeah,
So it feels like you'll show, like, some people will be able to demonstrate, oh, this is how you do it. It's
Mhm.
not just like newcomers, it's.
They will still be hopefully composting, yeah, so they will be still demonstrating.
But
We
in the
know-
long run, will that can, do you expect, I know it's just the launch of a pilot, so you're trying to determine. But I would hope that eventually it could, if it's open to a larger, it wouldn't be excluded if we've already.
Right,
paying.
yeah.
I think if it was a citywide service, like
Yeah.
trash or recycling, like we wouldn't exclude people who like,
Right.
were paying for some period of time, but I think specifically just because of like. Limited time pilot in a limited area, like just wanting to kind of increase the adoption and bring
Right.
composting to new households. So
Yes.
So I just want to welcome
Oh,
Ben.
sorry, yeah.
Thanks for joining, Ben. Would you like to introduce yourself? I'll give you the option, I guess.
Ben, can you hear us okay?
Hi, my name is Ben Caprero from Ward 6. Pleased to join the meeting and observe the proceedings. Thank you.
Amazing, yes, and if you have, I'll just open officially for public comment as well, if you have comment on the composting program, we'd love to
I
hear.
just had one last question,
Well,
which is,
sticking to that.
do we know what the compost numbers in Somerville are already? Like how many people voluntarily pay for?
So it's a bit difficult, right? Cause it's like there's many
Yeah,
companies that offer curbside food
Yeah.
waste collection, so we know Garbage to Garden because they're the contractor we're
Right.
working with, and they gave us kind of pickup rates or like the percentage of people that live in various neighborhoods, and so like that was part of the reason for choosing East Somerville is it had the lowest
Yeah.
number of enrolled customers, like 3 to 4 times lower than some of the other neighborhoods we're
Yeah.
working at, so.
I mean, it seems like just from what I can see, like Bootstrap, Black Earth and Garbage to Garden,
Mhm.
Garbage are like the three dominant,
Yeah.
vendors.
Forest Garden purchased the roots from Black Earth Compost. That's what Waste Dive reported anyway.
Oh, wow.
You purchased the.
Yeah.
The
The
roots
roots.
from.
Like
Like
Black Earth.
the rats,
Roots,
yeah,
oh.
so I mean, I guess my point being,
Oh,
it would be, I heard that too, and I was like, roots. My point
New York accent.
to Courtney's comment, like, I wouldn't wanna take all of the slots in the free pilot for people who are already, like, it would be so great to be able to say, like, we already have 1,200 people. Whatever the number is, composting on the east side, maybe not in East Somerville, but on the east side, and now we're adding additional 1,200 more, something, just numerically to be able to count. I don't know. I mean, I do think also there's like, your neighbors doing it, everyone's doing it, like, I feel like on our block, it's like everyone does it because everyone does it.
Mhm.
So I think I'm gonna move this along.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that's okay.
Can I add one more thing on Courtney's question
Yeah.
about
ahead.
the freezer? One of the factors that came into our decision making there was that the vendor does offer a volunteer, no cost, like kind of trade-off system, so that if you volunteer
That's
for
true.
them, you don't have to pay for service to get curbside composting. So that is an option for people still, if they want to do that. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
You're also gonna get an update on network geothermal.
Yeah, so our goal for this year, so where we're at with network geothermal is that we have completed a study that has come out earlier this year that looked at 3 different pilot sites in Somerville. So we have one in Central Hill, one at Union Square, we're calling it Central Somerville Ave, and then the other one would be 10 Hills, sort of like straddling 93, encompassing Somerville Housing Authority.
Sorry, you said there's 2 sites? Or
3, thank you. Yeah, and that report is available online. And this is again, kind of like what Kate said, kind of a preamble to Naomi's piece of the presentation here, the next agenda item. But our goal for this year, kind of internally, is to try to get a list of 400 names of folks that are interested in network geothermal. We're about halfway there now. And we're sort of giving ourselves kind of like a range there that could be like, hey, I'm interested in learning more, or like, put it on my street. We have over 100 folks that have said, I want it, which is really great. So we have our sort of next steps there. There's 2 parts of that. One is we have an activity that Naomi's developed for community events. So we're going to be hosting those at wards 2, 3, and 4 community meetings. So if folks are interested about kind of getting the word out and getting their neighbors excited about network geothermal, and getting, names and emails on a list for learning more, we would be happy to have you join us for those meetings. And then, and Naomi will talk about those in a minute. And then we are also working on an RFP, request for, proposals to be released this fall. And that would in part be looking at a vendor to be advising us on the correct or the most advantageous ownership, financing model, and operation and maintenance model for Somerville to take on, which would then bring us into the design phase for one of the 3 sites. So that's where we're at there. So, and I know the commission has sometimes has looked at RFPs in the past, so if anybody is interested in being on, that review committee, that would probably happen later this fall. So, let me know if you're interested.
Can I just clarify, one point around, you're looking for 400 people to express interest who live within one of those 3 pilot areas?
I would say ideally, but I think just generally with Somerville, if we could say 400 in the whole community, because it's only 4 square miles.
There's
I
not
think
people
I'd
who would be
interested.
willing or interested in connecting their homes to it? Is that
Yeah.
what the-
Yeah, I think I think right now our sort of definition of interest is pretty broad, right? We're sort of looking for people that are like, I would be interested in network geothermal, and I think like our plus would be if they were interested in
Okay.
actually interconnecting, and we're about like half and half right now, I would say. Well, a little bit more than half of the 200 people that we have so far that have expressed interest have said they actually do want network geothermal.
And then an expression of interest is really just an expression to stay on your mailing list and be invited to events, right? I mean, like, there's no
Yeah.
actual,
Commitment.
there's no commitment or even like real path to, like, no one's gonna come and inspect your home and,
No,
so, okay.
no, yeah,
Okay.
not at this time, but yeah, we're hoping that and the reason we're doing this is because we wanna make Somerville the next kind of like undeniable choice for, you know, if the state or the utilities is going, or a third party is gonna invest in network geothermal, we wanna make sure that, you know, we're able to say, we have the numbers, we have people that would do this if you came here.
Are there certain like existing site conditions people need to be able to get connected? Because I think people are making individual decisions about their homes and business right now, whether they're installing heat pumps or solar, and so does that affect potential future interconnection with this project?
Yeah, I think it would, if somebody were to do the fuel switch now, like if they had a gas system and they switch to air source heat pumps and upgrade their, you know, electric system, to like 200 amps if they need to, or something like that, all of that would help and like insulate their home more. All of that would help and kind of speed along the process later on. But there's no like prerequisites with this.
Go ahead, Ramon.
So in terms of the pilot, when it happens, what's the scope of what actually happens and the timeline for it? Because there's no infrastructure in Somerville other than gas lines, whatever, for the geothermal. So what would, in the scope of the pilot phase, what would actually be what the participants would be doing?
Like experiencing, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so it's all theoretical right now, but so the idea is that we would first, you know, do some exploration, right? And try out some boreholes, see how it goes. And then, you know, and then, you know, design the project. And then we would work with, you know, the project team or the vendor that the city winds, this contractor, I guess, the city winds up selecting to install boreholes, and they would go, it's sort of like a 1 foot line, and it would be like continuous throughout the whole loop, and the loop would be at least a mile long. And it doesn't have to be like a true loop like this, it can go like in all different directions and kind of like spider out. It just depends on what the design is. It would, and then any commercial or residential building that would be on that loop would have the opportunity to link up to that. And depending on kind of the financing scheme or what incentives are available and what that all looks like. It could be, you know, a Framingham situation where, you know, the utilities and the state are paying for everybody to upgrade their homes. It might not be. And it might be that we're looking to like mass save and the state to, if for like any sort of financing, like the heat loan and things like that to help people convert their systems.
Okay.
And make their homes more energy efficient before they link up. And then, once those like home retrofits are done, then they would be linked up to, you know, that line in the street. It might actually replace the gas
Oh.
system if we have the right coordination between the state utility and municipality, but, that could be something that comes along. There's a lot up in the air right now. But
how far into the future would the pilot be expected to last? It was not.
oh, like the install time, like the timeline from when,
Yeah.
I think you know, we haven't done one where they're replacing the gas infrastructure, so I'm not totally sure what kind of time that adds to everything,
Right.
but you know, I think we probably have to see, and then. Yeah, I think we kind of, and it would probably be dependent on each person, like how much work they need to do and when they can link up, so. I would hesitate to give a timeline for something that's so kind of like theoretical right now, but I think in Framingham, I think it took like 12 to 18 months once they actually broke ground and started it, but it was like it was longer, like before then, kind of leading up to it. but fully operational and successful right now, so that's good.
Ben, if you have any questions, just feel free to raise your hand anytime, and we'll spot you. Any other questions on the geothermal comments? And we can just move on then to fall outreach opportunities, which we touched on a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in addition to the curbside compost pilot, as well as network geothermal like interest and energizing among the community, we have a number of projects that our department is working on, and Shannon, who is our energy advisor, and I have been doing a bunch of outreach over the summer, and our fall outreach calendar is packed full. And so any support that you all can come and bring to any of these opportunities would be really valuable. We have Gilman Square, it's a music festival this weekend that Shannon will be at by herself, so if anyone is around, she would love support. And then we have all of the ward meetings. Christine mentioned some ward meetings that have specific focuses on curbside composting, like Ward 1, and network geothermal, like 2, 3, 4, I believe.
4, yeah.
3, 4. But all of the ward meetings, we will be there and talking about community choice electricity, which you are all familiar, I believe. Talk about Mass Save and the role that Shannon plays as an energy advisor. We've also been doing some work with the Bar Foundation around heat exposure. It's cool right now, but that doesn't mean it won't get hot again. And we also just opened the applications for ambassadors for starting this next cohort, starting in January. So we'll be talking about that, as well as network geothermal. So that's just like a broad list of or some of the many projects we are working on. If you are interested in coming to any of these, especially, I highlighted, I think, do you wanna scroll over a little? Which staff, so if you see staff where there's only one person's name and you're available and interested, then please email me and I will get you linked up. And I think it's a really wonderful opportunity for you all to support our projects, and also as you all focus on growing the ICAC. I've had a lot of conversations already with people that are interested in applying, and so continuing those conversations with residents, I think will be a great opportunity as well.
Alexis?
Yeah,
Are all of these events on the city's calendar as well?
they are, yes, except for if you scroll down to Pumpkin Smash, I have yet to put it on the city calendar. This is a specific event that we're hosting with the Growing Center about the composting pilot. It's the first time Somerville has done a Pumpkin Smash. We're working with the Growing Center and with Mothers Out Front to host a very fun afternoon or morning of smashing pumpkins. So please bring pumpkins, bring your neighbors' pumpkins. They will all be composted, and we'll have a lot of more information around the composting pilot as well. And anyone in the city is welcome and invited to come, but we're doing specific outreach to Ward 1 as well.
Yeah, Corey.
Eliza referenced this earlier, but we've talked before about the climate ambassadors.
Yeah.
Are they being activated to help with this too?
I
It
have
seems
a email that I am drafting as we speak, for the climate ambassadors. I think, usually my capacity to engage with them is higher during climate ambassador season, even the alumni.
Yeah.
But I see them regularly and talk to climate ambassadors and looping them in to do promotion for ambassadors, to do promotion for STEM Week, which I haven't yet mentioned, but I will in 1 second, as well as composting.
And is
So-
the part of the intent of the ambassadors to help kind of move this
Yeah.
along into the
So there's two
community
parts,
discussion?
there's during the ambassadors cohort, there's a project component that is fairly self-guided to this point. Because I think as we think about climate action and we think about mobilizing the community, part of that is what does it feel like to like do that yourself with obvious support, but instead of like plugging into existing things, and I think that can be scary for people, and it's really wonderful to watch people realize like, oh, I can do this, like, oh, I can, start a vermicompost at home, and like, I don't need permission to do it, right? So I think like part of the curriculum that we've developed is cultivating that. And then it's connecting climate ambassadors to commissions, to existing programming, to community organizing that's happening in the city, all of those things, as well as into our programs as well. So it's sort of a all encompassing.
Yeah, and I think Naomi is underselling it too, like the amount of engagement and I think like relationship building that she has brought to the department has been like unprecedented from anything that we have experienced before, so thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think both aspects of the ambassadors program are really crucial. I think they're really good. When will the materials for the next cohort round will be coming out? Because this year I wanna actually early on, there are places that I know
Yes.
would be good to put.
Thank you. This is the right time to ask that question. I just sent the flyer to the printer today, so I will send flyers to all of you online as well. And I'll send an email about what outreach looks like for that.
And we'll get them translated too. Yeah, we're really
We're-
grateful that you're
Yeah.
here tonight, because every single conversation we've had so far has come back to that.
Absolutely. So the last thing I just want to mention is Emily, prior to me and now me, have been working with the schools to develop a 5th grade STEM week curriculum, which is all the 5th grade students in Somerville are going to be doing a week-long climate action focused STEM week to expose 5th grade students to real world issues on climate change. And learn from community partners and also provide like hands-on like problem solving and solutions. This is somewhat unprecedented. It's going to be a lot of work, and there's a lot of community partners that are participating in this. We are hoping for more volunteers because this is such a hands-on project throughout the week to help support this work in the 5th grade classes. So I know many people have jobs and you can't take time out of the day, but if you can and are interested, you can also email me and
What week is it?
it is October 20th through 24th.
What's it called? 5th graders,
STEM
5th
week.
grade climate action STEM week is the current name.
Of the list of events that you sent around and are on the screen, like which ones would you prioritize as like, we really need help here? And is it solely just based on like, well, we only have one person covering, or are there others where like, we need an army there because, it's a ward meeting?
Right. I think the pumpkin smash at the end
November 8th.
in November 8th, I think would be a really wonderful opportunity for all of you to come. And then I think like coming to your own ward meetings would be really valuable.
Yeah, I'll put, do you wanna go to Ward 6?
I'm not gonna be in town.
Okay, I'll go to Ward 6. You can add my name next to Josh's.
All right,
Nice,
great.
thank you.
I think I can go to Gilman Square this weekend.
Great, okay.
Parents.
I will let Shannon know.
and I'll probably go to Ward 2, but I need to check calendars.
Sounds good.
I would write this down, but my
I'm
mouse
writing
isn't
it.
working, okay.
Well,
thank you.
we'll email you, so you don't
Okay.
have to write it down, but sometimes it's good to just see it up and debate up.
Yeah,
while we're-
totally.
Quick question, the 5th graders thing, is that something that, I forget his last name, Jason?
Jason, yes.
Is involved with that?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So I meet with him weekly to work on this, and he's a wonderful partner, and he's brilliant.
Yeah.
And you think things are coming together, and then you meet with him 2 days later, and it's like, wow, this whole thing happened, so. It's wonderful to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Cool. Thank you.
Did Emily leave?
She's
Sorry,
on
she's
leave.
on.
Oh,
leave.
okay.
She'll be back.
I was just.
Okay, I was like,
taking
she's
over.
doing.
No.
There's a job posting.
Baby picture.
Sorry, that was unclear on my part.
Okay.
Just a reminder, Ben, that if you have questions on outreach opportunities or any of these events, just raise your hand and we'll come back to you.
We also have a program for residents that are interested in getting involved too, Ben, if it's of interest.
I mean, pumpkin smash.
Yeah,
That's available to everyone.
Yes, and the climate ambassadors, shout out.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. Moving on for our agenda, what's next? So discussion of new heat pump rates and interaction with our community choice electricity. We touched on this last month. One question we had was just to confirm that the benefit, that you get the heat pump rate on the distribution side, while you can still participate with community choice electricity on the generating side, which I believe is correct, but we're gonna confirm that and I think,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you can still participate in community choice electricity and get the new heat pump rate, and you can contact Eversource to sign up for it. That's, yeah.
The end.
And we did put in the agenda a link to a WBUR article, which has a lot of really good details about the new heat pump rate. And they actually do say in there that there's still a placeholder for Eversource if you want to sign up for the new rate. So they said they'll update the article when they get information from Eversource. So I think they're
Yes.
still kind of figuring out what that's gonna look like.
Yeah, and I did send our questions over to Eversource and have not yet heard back from them, but when I do, and if there's different and more information to supplement this, I'll share that out with everybody too.
Yeah, I guess the question of like, how do you, like, they're probably not gonna opt everybody in, they might be able to opt some people in.
I would err on the side of nobody will be opted in.
Yeah, so that was my
because
point.
People that, yeah, like, people aren't automatically opted into the income qualifying
Right.
rate if they're on fuel assistance. So just using that as a baseline, I would say assume you are not going to be automatically opted in and just give them a call.
Good.
This might be too minutia, but do you know, are they like making, so I have I have two units, one is fully electric, the other has two mini splits in bedrooms, but not throughout.
Okay,
Like, are they gonna, I don't wanna get the rate if I'm not supposed to, like, so are they gonna like actually find, like, how, like, yeah, I'm partially heat pump heated. Do you know if they have
Yeah.
that kind of like differentiation?
do you mean all electric being, it's like resistance heat or?
No, I mean, this is, I don't need to bring this.
We can
up,
also
but
talk
this is
offline too, if you
It's
want.
more like, I'm curious about how they're gonna determine, it said in the BUR article, if you got it through if you got your heat pump through Mass Save, it'll be easier, if you didn't, it'll be
Yeah.
harder, but there may be some people who put in
Yeah.
the heat pump for air conditioning in a bedroom,
To supplement,
and they
right,
have the
of
heat,
course,
and they have
of
it for
course.
heat, but
So if it's.
they
not-
also
you-
have
right.
gas for the rest of the house.
Right,
I have that in one
Yes.
unit, and the other unit is all heat pumps, but it's one.
I think that was part of our question to Eversource. I haven't heard back from them, but I will let you know if I hear more from them.
I also would be interested in that same question.
I
I
think
was like,
most-
we got solar, we got partial heat pumps,
Yeah.
we got like, where do we go?
Right.
You are not in the minority
I
here,
would assume.
so we will find out sooner rather than
Okay.
later, whether it's from me or if it's from them. I assume that all of us heat pump people will find out soon. Cool.
Anything else on heat pump rates? Exciting.
Yeah, great.
Ben, I will, and again, because my agenda says I have to keep saying this, I will just say, please feel free to raise your hand, if you have comment on heat pumps too. Otherwise, we will move on to discussion of our bylaws, which I believe we're at the end of.
Yes.
If you all behave.
We don't want any
And-
comments, no one is there, just kidding.
Oh, thank you, Naomi.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna head out.
Yes, yes.
Sorry,
Thank you.
any more questions?
No. Thank you.
I should have taken the agenda out of order, my bad, to give you space, so sorry about that.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So a new version of the bylaws was distributed as part of packets. And this is a stripped down version from.
It's called streamlined. It's called
Streamlined version. From the one we looked at and discussed last meeting, with some guidance from Christine, and then later on what we thought would be helpful in terms of setting the stage for forming a CAC, and in particular for getting to a job description. So the intent tonight, I hope, is to pass the bylaws and to be able to perhaps empower two-person committee to finalize the job description and get it posted in advance of next meeting, so that doesn't have to be a discussion topic next meeting either.
Yep.
How does that sound?
That sounds great, and I
Alright.
think this was a wonderful streamlined version, and I have a motion to approve it. But I will allow for discussion too. I think we had a very thorough discussion last time,
Yeah.
and this is only interim, and I think you guys did a great job, so
Thank you.
I would be open to moving forward.
I'll wait for Christine to come back before moving further. I would accept a second if anyone wanted to second it, but then we
I
can.
mean, I will second it in part because we stripped it, so. Agreed.
Okay, we have a motion that's second, and we can open that for discussion. Christine, we have a motion to accept the bylaws as posted, so just.
My motion.
I love it.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, that's right. I'm waiting for you when you got back.
Oh, no, that's great.
We didn't go item by item, but.
Well,
I don't-
I think
Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, the only thing is I haven't gotten this approved, or I didn't run it by like legal and clerk's office yet, and I think that was something that we're thinking we might wanna do before we approve it, so.
Could we approve it pending
Yeah,
legal review?
Visually, yeah.
Yeah,
visually
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
and we'll accept their recommendations.
okay, great.
I mean, again, this is just for the ICAC, so this is all interim and we really did strip down quite a bit from what is.
Streamline, I think.
Yeah, I know, back on my own
To quote
language.
you.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
Any further discussion?
No, it's great to be
What
moving
about
forward.
Ben? We should take Ben before we get a vote.
Yeah, Ben, if you have comment on the draft bylaws that were posted on the website, please raise your hand.
Let's see.
All right,
Ben.
well, I will call the question then, and all those in favor say aye.
Alright,
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously.
in a long haul.
Wow.
Thank you.
The second part of my ask for this evening, or my hopes and dreams for this evening, was to have a couple folks who'd be willing to just sort of work on the job description. And thank you guys for putting up some strong person copy, which I think is really helpful, as well as some guidance there, so that's great. Is there anyone who would like to help out on that?
I'm sorry, just to reiterate, the timeline is to have this ready to go before our next meeting.
I would like to empower the committee to just run with
Release
it
it.
and have it released as soon as possible without requiring further review by this commission. That would be my intent, right? And then we can provide further input based on the draft here if we so desire
Got
tonight.
Yeah, the short term, I have no time.
Yeah, I'm on the MSBA committee and overextended
Okay.
at the moment.
I mean, I'm happy to push this forward. I didn't want to take up space since I got to help with the bylaws, but I'm happy to push it forward. And in fact, short term is better for me. Like, I'd love to get this done in the next week.
I only have time in the short term, so. So I'm happy to just pick
Okay.
that up with you if that's. if
Want to
that's-
meet tomorrow morning?
Yeah. We work at the same co-working office.
Oh.
That's so convenient.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so, let's see, do we?
You'll get it drafted and posted before our next meeting.
Oh, no, not, this posted?
We will get it drafted and off of our desk.
We'll
Yeah,
get it drafted and back to the city.
yeah, cause then we'll translate it into 6 languages and get it all ready for.
You guys spoke 6 languages.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for doing this. One thought I had in seeing the example is that it says it's a new commission, and I would
Right,
want it to
I thought-
say that it's a newly reformed or
Yeah.
newly reimagined or whatever the wording is.
Adapted or something.
Yeah. So that people, so that people understand there's a history that will be kind of discussed and brought in.
Yeah, I agree.
I had the same reaction. Yeah.
Oh, good, okay. Yeah, we
It's-
can change that.
It's the former CUCC.
Yeah, right.
And formerly I see.
It's a revisioned.
I think that is helpful too, because also when you, speaking as someone who's new to this and you go onto the city of Somerville's website and you're looking back for old meetings, it is a little bit confusing because some of them are under the ICAC, some of them are under the CEMU. So if people are wanting to go back and like see what's been covered, we might want to make sure.
Yeah,
I did mention that to them before, but I can bring it up to them again.
I would recommend that for an interim period in the coming year, that often reference be made. The CAC formerly started based on evolved based on the former CEC.
Draw yourself a symbol.
Yeah, some.
Get my follow name.
Are there any other considerations or reactions to considerations that we should take on board, or reactions to the draft that I don't know who put it together. Somebody put it together. Steamed it.
I mean, I think there were a lot of, like, I just skimmed through it in the packet and I was like, oh, this all like, you know, it's eligible residents, but it's not really residents, but it's also business owner. Like, I think we just need to
Yeah, well-
wordsmith a lot of this, but I think I mean, in the interest of being explicit, but also not being so overwhelming for someone to read it, I think we should really try to be as concise as possible and bullet things out as opposed to long paragraph. Like, we want people from any, you know, sort of perspective to feel like this is inviting. And I think the lengthier it is, the harder it is to.
And there was also the example provided of the listing for 2023, which was short, but had some details about what would be covered, like what topics would you be, what things would you be contributing towards?
Yeah.
And to make clear that you could be overlapping, you could be, you know, partially covering sort of the criteria. You don't have to be 100% one of them to be eligible.
Yeah.
You're holding the pen this time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the area that I feel like we most need to, like, we wanna be explicit enough that we have these domain areas, but we don't wanna be so limiting that it feels like, oh, I'm not an expert in green financing, I can't possibly contribute.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and on the making it concise, like, like the city definitely has a preference for plain language for accessibility, and that also will help with translation a lot. Just so that's clear.
Yeah, since a lot of the languages that we translate to, there's no, like, the words don't match one for one, like for energy efficiency and stuff like that, so. And we have had conversations about that, so there are ways that we do have phrases that we use in place of that, but just to keep that in mind too.
Okay, a clear case of that is in Cambridge, the Union of Concerned Scientists, when you try to translate that to Spanish, concern, the many shades of meaning, and often comes across as the Union of Worried Scientists. It doesn't.
Actually.
It sounds.
Yeah. Okay, this is great feedback. Any other comments on this as you guys are taking a look at it? I think the residence flag is a super good one.
Well, maybe just in terms of process, sorry to cut you off, Christine, maybe what we should try to do, Larry, is if you really think we could meet this week, then maybe what we'll try to do is send a draft. Are we allowed to have commissioners review a draft text for quorum? Like, if we did this, we can send it out and people can provide comments, right?
We've done that before.
Well, if you send it BCC,
Okay.
yeah.
So
like,
what
we
about
can't
if
have-
Larry and I take a stab this week and send it out by Friday? And then ask for feedback by next Friday? And then whoever provides feedback, great. If you can't, no problem. And then we can get it to Christine.
Okay, that'd be
Perfect,
great,
sold.
yeah. Okay, and then that would also probably give legal, the only thing is, the 13 things, like the fill 13 positions. The things that we are basing that on are based on this, and if legal has feedback on that and that has to change, that will probably impact what this looks like.
We get it.
So, okay, so I just at least wanna set expectations for what's completed.
But is legal looking at that imminently, or is it in the next week, or are
I
they?
can send it to them tomorrow and then,
They'll see.
Sooner the better.
Yeah.
It's fine,
I think we can incorporate that, that's fine.
Okay,
as long
cool.
as I'm not on the critical path anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so like, yeah, I guess my question is like, so for example, if they're like, yeah, one of these 13 things like totally won't, or one of these, not 13, you know what I mean, though, but like one of these things like totally won't work. And then that impacts the way that this looks, and then Larry's not available, we wouldn't, like, the directive for me right now is not to push it through without coming back and talking to you guys, right? Like, we would wanna talk about that, if legal has like substantive
It
concerns.
depends on how substantive, I think,
Okay.
if the concerns are not substantive, if the concerns are just like a little wordsmithing and don't change the intent, then I don't think.
Yeah, can you just quickly put up that list again? Cause I think,
Yeah.
I think the list, to be honest, you know, the ones where, oh, thank you, cause I can't read that far away. Like the ones where we have, you know, at least one member who is, I mean, I guess, I think Larry and I felt clear that we liked the intent to sort of show the range, but none of these, other than the ones that's included, in the ordinance itself, did we feel like we were so beholden to.
Okay.
It also says will seek.
Yeah.
So it's not
So it's not,
required
yeah, it's not required.
or overly limiting.
Right.
Yeah. So like, for example, you know, at least two members who rent their residences, if they're like, well, you can only have one, that's fine. Like, I think the idea is we just wanted to like show that we were looking for different perspectives.
Makes sense.
At least versus ideally.
Cool. Okay, great. Sounds good.
Okay. Let's see, our October meeting is on the scheduled date. Which, that correct, wait.
There's a doodle pool.
There's a doodle poll for November,
We've talked about October 21st.
October 21, can we push it to a virtual October 21 meeting?
Mhm.
Which Ramon will take over for,
That's fine.
so just confirming that, and
So we're
then
not doing the 14th, we're in the 21st.
doing the 21st, not the 14th. For October,
21st, yeah.
and
And you said it was a virtual only?
virtual only. Yes,
Can you remind us how we switch physical chairs if you're not here? So Ramon is chair, not clerk anymore, or
You're still clerk. if
you're
you
still
be
clerk,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we just passed bylaws that state that you can choose other people and designate it. active.
it's when if you aren't here, Ramon isn't here, then.
That's right, that's me,
Okay.
right, so it doesn't rotate fully, it just steps on.
I'm sorry to be the wrench. I actually might have a conflict on the 21st. I might be traveling, which wouldn't be a problem, but I think I'm gonna be in the Pacific time zone, so I'm not sure I would be available to attend at this time.
Cool, okay. If the four of us could be there, that would be, oh no, it wouldn't, because I'm not voting. So.
I'm really sorry, guys.
It's 3 of.
Oh, wait, but it would be
that's
three.
fine, yeah.
Yeah, that would be four.
Oh.
Okay, I'm sorry, we could still meet, but if
Okay.
Courtney, Ramon, or Alexis, if one of you is gonna be out, just let me know and then we'll.
What was
schedule.
wrong with the 14th?
It's the day after Indigenous Peoples' Day. Right?
Yeah,
Right.
so we were thinking that,
Well, is everybody
People
here
might-
available on the 14th? Are you out for an
I'm out.
extended period?
Yeah.
Liza, are you available? on the-
I am available on the 14th.
Are we all available? Is it-
Yeah.
Like it's not the day
Okay,
of?
yeah,
I'm.
no, he's not. But we could still,
Yeah, they're good,
It works.
still move it back to the 14th.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
was it because of it?
Someone was on vacation.
Yeah.
there was
I think
like
it
a
was
reason.
in anticipation maybe of a lot of people traveling. but-
Yeah.
Okay,
Something else.
Yeah, sorry about that. Thank you for,
back to the 14th.
it's great for me.
And then do we have the results of that doodle poll
Yes,
for
so
November?
I did send out the doodle poll. There's actually 2 dates that everyone that filled it out indicated they were available.
This is
So
our November?
November, yeah, is, so either Monday, November 17th, from 7 to 8:30 PM, or Wednesday, November 19th, from 7 PM to 8:30 PM. So the Monday or the Wednesday on either side of the Tuesday that we're not doing it.
I'm good with either date.
Christine, are you able to attend?
I would just have to look at the calendars, but
Is it, yeah, I think we did have, Jason also filled it out and he's available either of those days, which would be great to.
yeah,
Have him.
I should be able to make it work.
I would prefer Monday.
Yeah.
I need to look another calendar at home, but I think the both.
Okay,
And that would be virtual.
If it would be virtual, that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 11, 17.
okay, October and November are both, the dates are set 7 o'clock on both dates, and we will be virtual only on both dates.
Okay, October 14th. November 17th, good dates.
Cool. Awesome.
Is there any new business?
I don't think we're allowed to have that on the agenda anymore.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because of the clerks, oh, sorry, did that just go to, I think that they just had the conversation with us, actually, from open meeting law. Our agendas need to be really, specific, we can't just say like,
Anything
open
before
discussion, because then it sort of,
Got
it doesn't tell the public like what we'll be talking about, so.
We'll
That's why
put
we
this
don't
one
have that on there anymore.
Is there anything you would like to add to the October agenda? Alexis?
I have a question. So we just talked about scheduling logistics, but that wasn't on the agenda. So how's that get organized?
Yeah, I think we can add it next time, but it is, scheduling meetings is exempt from like
Open meeting.
open meeting law too, so, but I think you're right, we can add it to future agendas.
Two things that I would like to see added for next time is a report back on the conversation we're gonna have about school buildings and decarbonization. And also, the climate forward plan, I feel like we stopped talking about it. And it would be interesting to understand. I know there's a dashboard that says like how things are doing, but like, and not just a list of this, but like. Big picture, like here are the things we're aiming for, how it is impacting the work that's being done by LSC.
It would be like a 3-hour conversation if we were to do that. Are there specific things maybe that would be more, cause I worry that it's fine, like I'm happy to do that if you guys are interested in that, but I worry that it's just gonna be us talking at you guys.
Yeah,
For
just
like an
that.
hour.
Maybe more like near term things or things like when you were mentioning like the participatory budget set aside, I was like, oh, that's useful. Like anything like new, like budget
Priorities.
related, yeah, priorities or like, you know, our staff are dedicating time to this particular piece of it.
Yeah,
Cause I don't know, Courtney, why you asked the question, but I often do get asked like, what's happening with that? And I'm always like, well, we're making progress on it. And they're like,
yeah.
so like, even if you're like, this month, the big push is on.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah,
So the reason, one of the things that made me think of it is I'm on the Mass School Board Authority School Building Committee to rebuild the Winter Hill and or Brown. And I'm part of the group that's selecting the architect. And we've been, like, a lot of the architects have pulled out climate forward. It's like, we're trying to do sustainability here. In Somerville, we see you. And it's just been making me think, which is great,
yeah,
like. I guess we did all that work, we had all the like consultants that created the plan, we had the launch, you're doing all this work, but I don't think I understand exactly how that is informing what's happening, or if it's just something that was out there, it created some sense of where to go, and then it's informing things, but here we are, you're like OSC is doing this work. It's just like, I don't know how to explain it, and I feel like I
yeah,
should be able
Okay.
to, if it like.
yeah.
So just a suggestion, we could start with just climate forward plan update and how it overlaps with school buildings specifically, or we could probably municipal buildings, and that could be one update, and in the future, we could maybe do one update per meeting. that's like ties back into the plan.
Right, cause there were the things that it said, this is the biggest in. Somerville's carbon footprint is biggest in buildings and next in the, like, everyone needs to have an EV every time they turn, like, do we have those specific things, so maybe. Like
Like
that,
this month was like around waste and composting, which we talked about, so.
Yeah.
right,
I wonder if that's a project too, that maybe the commission would want to work on, is like, when you guys are out, you guys are the ambassadors for the city. How are you guys talking about this? And how do you wanna talk about it? What questions do you have and where? And I wonder if it's more of like a conversation about like where you're struggling in those conversations and then where we can fill in the blanks. Cause I think that's interesting to,
But I have been thinking about along the same line, especially after many months of mostly discussing,
the bylaws.
you know, text and text and text. That for our own purpose, but also to the degree that we get people to start paying attention to the upcoming meetings in. Along the way towards the CAC and not just the ICAC, that it would be good to, I know that it would take 3 hours to do like a detailed look at the whole, but what it could be is like a brief recount of what the process that led to this version of the climate forward is, you know, just very high level, and then focusing on the few things that are actually already kind of taking root, you know, that are being done, some of the things that have been done, you know, the chargers, the composting or whatever. I mean, just picking a few things to show the big picture, and then where are we on the ground right now? So that it'd be good for us, but it'd be good for anybody who starts it.
Right,
If others aside from Ben show up, you know, start looking at it.
Yeah.
Especially once the job descriptions for new members starts getting out there, you know, I imagine that some people will start paying attention to the meetings, just to see what it's all about, you know?
yeah, cause it is, I would say, I actually wrote, when you said, I was thinking the same thing with the ward meetings. There's kind of two thoughts I have here. One is the way that we prepare for the ward meetings is that we will look ward by ward and write down, okay, what applies to everybody that we can share out at the ward meetings, and which materials should we have? And then what meetings is there specific information that we can either communicate verbally, or that we should have as an activity, or like we should have a sign up sheet for, or we need to do a presentation for? So at any meeting, it's like very, like specific to that neighborhood. And I think we could share, as like a kind of a starting point, we could share that out with you guys, so that when you guys are out at the board meetings saying, you know, hey, we're gonna be advertising for this soon, you know, and you know, this is kind of the stuff that we have going on, like a new charger at Ibbotson Street or something like that, like that way you guys have that information, so we can share that out with you, and I can work with Naomi on that, and then, and Kate on that. And then the other piece of that, I think, is, I'm kind of thinking like years ago when we did that sort of like kind of like facilitated discussion. I think we did a couple of them when Oliver first left, but I wonder if we do another one where we're sort of like, we have some like structured kind of discussion questions, and it's like, where are ICAC members like kind of feeling like there might, like there's like a difficulty to communicate Somerville's like climate goals and status. What are conversations in the community like? How are they happening? What questions are you receiving? What would you like to say? Where can we fill in the blanks? What are the, and then we can communicate out like, what are the priorities and current projects, and like, how often should we be doing that? How should we be doing that? Cause I feel like that's a conversation that's like definitely worth having, and good timing with all the ward meetings too.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Great idea.
Yeah, I do like
Thank you for saying
anchoring
that.
it on like kind of like following up what we're questions that we're struggling with when we're talking with different, you know, different stakeholders, community members or architects or whomever, like we get asked questions, or I get asked questions. Some of them are about composting, and some of them are about schools. That's
Them about rats.
and rats.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. It's often me.
Awesome.
This is all for you, Ramon. You get to facilitate this meeting, so.
As long as it's all laid out for me to look at.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder too. I'm gonna note that too, that we've coordinated with everyone for October
But
meeting.
keep me posted what weeks you need me more, because
Yeah.
my schedule is gonna be, you know, up and down, I mean, few fronts, so.
Totally, yeah, we'll probably do like late September or something like that. Is that-
I'm gonna be in October, and I don't know the dates, I'm probably gonna be out of the state for like a week or 10 days, and I'm not sure when, so.
So very mysterious for me.
Well, I'm not going by myself, so it depends on other schedules.
Good to know, good to know.
Mysterious.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Cool. Okay, great. Well, thank you.
Anything else to consider for future agendas? Yeah, Alexis.
It doesn't need to be the November meeting, but potentially an update on the heat resiliency pilot.
Heat resiliency pilot. Okay, oh, right, yes, okay.
I was at the meeting today, so I think I know what Somerville's doing, but I don't know other people know.
Okay,
Which meeting today?
There's a pilot opportunity funded through the Bar Foundation, and so Somerville, Salem, and Lynn are three participating communities to explore different heat resiliency related projects. And so we had a cohort meeting today with I'm not on the South Open even though I live here, but there's really cool stuff that people are doing.
Cool.
Very, maybe we do need an October meeting.
Anything else for future agendas? All right, I think we can break early then. I think meeting adjourned 8:15.
yeah, can you make a motion?
Would someone like to make a motion from Alexis?
I'll second it.
Second. To Eliza, all in favor?
Hi.
Like,
Motion adjourned.
Yeah.
Saw in the notes last time we didn't do that, so. Point.
Thank you very much.
And so is the idea that every 6 months or so, we'll try to do an in-person meeting, so like in the spring? Yeah, great.
Yeah, spring, fall.
Yeah.
It's in like twice a year.
It's very nice to see you guys.
Yeah.
It is. Well, and it just does feel efficient, you know,
Yeah.
get through stuff
Yeah, look at that.
quickly.
I genuinely, yeah,
Yeah.
great.